we want to welcome everybody back again to America's Elite Businesses Up Close and Personal. I'm your host, Chris Jones, and join with me each and every week. Well, beginning this week, we have Danny Wentworth from Cruise Planners, franchise owner, and we're thankful. We've been working hard to get Danny out here, a busy schedule, and a huge initial project here to begin 2020. Danny, first and foremost, before we go back to the future and talk about the 35th year anniversary, an iconic event. Tell us a little bit about yourself and the business and why Cruise Planners is now on the land.
Well, 30-year owner, or a 30-year franchise owner. Just decided to start doing some fun group cruises. You know, just something different. Anybody can book a cruise, but let's have some fun themes to it and do for good causes. So we started attaching charities to our group travel, and we came up with the Back to the Future trip.
Yes, we are, and the Parkinson's, and we'll get into that here momentarily, is the charity of choice here for this. But this is an iconic name.
Yes.
I mean, right with Star Wars and all the iconic movies that have been around, at least for my generation here. Back to the Future, original characters, a 35-year anniversary. It's in Mexico. You didn't miss a beat on this, did you?
No, not at all. We doing all-inclusive Riviera Maya, Mexico, Hard Rock Resort. We have 3 of the original cast members. We have the #1 voted Marty McFly impersonator coming as well. And we may be adding more cast members as the days go by. Just everybody wants to come to our event. They see it, they love it. It's very intimate, you know, a certain amount of rooms. So you're not going to be at a Comic-Con setting with 1,000 people.
Right.
You know, we're looking at maybe 100 people total for 5 days with the actors. So it's very, very exclusive, very intimate experience for the fans.
Well, speaking of intimate, you brought us location. We're at the amphitheater. Where is this at again?
This is City Center in Port Orange.
Okay, City Center in Port Orange. We thank them for allowing us to come out and sit on their stage. I want to get more, as we talked about, Cruise Planners has been around forever. I did cruises almost 25 years ago. But before we go back to the future here, let's talk about the name. Really doesn't say a lot about what you guys are doing. You do land events every day, don't you?
All right, we're the land and cruise experts. Cruise Planners have been around for 26 years now.
Okay.
Just a staple in the industry, and changing a name, you can't start over once you've
It's
got
a good
this
name.
Cruise Planner status. So we do land as well, all inclusives, land tours. If you want to go to Antarctica, we'll send you there, and not via boat all the time.
Well, you know, people in every business are trying to find their niche. And when I first met you and we agreed on doing these podcasts, and then you broke it out to me about this, a big event. Now, this is nothing that you found is a cookie cutter that somebody had done before. You thought all of this up yourself. Tell me how it started and how you went to each step.
Well, we started off as a cruise.
Great.
Just, kind of going back to Cruise Planners. But just the logistics and the events that we have planned just won't work on a cruise ship.
Gotcha.
You're very tight on time and your event space, and when your time's up, bingo's ready to move in, so you got to be packed up and ready to go.
Can't do that.
Not at all. So we decided to go to an all-inclusive resort. That way your drink package is included, your food's in package, your shore excursions per se are included. We decided to add 4 events. So we have a meet and greet with the actors.
Okay.
We have a panel, question and answer panel, a screening of the movie where the actors are going to do a commentary, and autograph photograph session, of course. And then the big event that Saturday night before we wrap it up will be the Enchantment of the Sea Dance.
Now, there's going to be 5 days, am I correct?
5 days, 5 nights, yes.
5 days, 5 nights in Mexico. We'll talk a little bit here as we continue to build up this magnificent package here on prices here, which you priced just right on the button here. Actually, let's go into that. It's a 5-day event. It's Mexico. It's an iconic event. It's Back to the Future. It's a 35-year anniversary. We're definitely looking for any sort of sponsorship as well, too. It's just an iconic event. Let's talk a little bit about the prices and where they can find you, Danny.
So you go to bttfvacation.com. That's our official website for the event.
Okay.
It has all the pricing listed there, but to get there for 5 days, everything included, the cheapest room we have is $3,000, and that's for 2 people.
Okay, that's for 5 days.
That's for 5 days. That includes all your events, like I said, top shelf alcohol, food, room, everything. The only thing it doesn't include is air.
Okay.
That's just not published yet, so we can't put a price on something that's not there yet. But that can all be added in at the end. People use their points for air these days too. So however they want to get there, we'll help them with that too.
Well, I want to talk about the process, because when you mentioned this to me, and it just flowed, and I said, well, Danny, what book did you get this out of, or who did this? a couple years ago that you said, Chris, no, this was something I thought of from start to finish. And tell me how you came up with the idea and how did you just knock it out piece by piece?
So like I said, I was looking for a group for next year. November just happens to be a good a good month for cruising,
Okay.
price wise, and just being Back to the Future geek. November 5th, there was a cruise available. Well, November 5th, 1955. That's when time travel was invented. And I'm like, well, let's put together a cruise with just a bunch of Back to the Future fans. Reached out to Tyler, the impersonator, and next thing I know, I have actors calling me because he put me in touch with them, and they want to come along and just have a good time. So I'm like, well, these are the events that we could possibly do. Just as a fan, this is what I would want to do at an event, and they agreed to them. And they said these are great ideas, and let's just put it together and get people there and benefit the Parkinson's Association.
Again, and we'll go back and talk about the Parkinson's Association, the charity that's involved in this wonderful vacation package, which is put together here. But can we talk about the actors and actresses that you've chosen, that you've already inked, that'll be at this event?
So far we have Claudia Wells, who was Jennifer Parker in the original movie, Part 1, Marty's
Awesome.
girlfriend. We have Don Full-Love, who was Mayor Goldie Wilson.
Okay.
And then we have, of course, Harry Waters Jr., who was Marvin Berry,
Gotcha.
who sang at the Enchantment of the Sea Dance, who will also sing at our Enchantment of the Sea Dance, too. He'll sing Earth Angel live for everybody.
Now, I heard through the grapevine that you guys didn't bring Michael J. Fox because we kind of look similar heights and weight, and
Yeah, exactly.
we don't want to get mixed up in an event like that. I'm not real good on autographs.
We can't have 3 Michael J. Foxes.
We
there.
can't have 3 You know, that word's going to come up. You know, Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd, and of course, part of the cast here. But those guys are a little tough to deal with, untouchable right now.
Yeah, well, they consider them the Fab Four. So you
The
have your
Fab
Leah Thompson, Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, and Tom Wilson, who was Biff.
Okay.
Being the 35th anniversary coming up this year, everybody's relevant again. Obviously, the big time events,
Yes.
the actual official Back to the Future events are going to be taking place. So their time and their prices go up a little bit, you know.
But you still have you have a great cast. The interest is starting to become a little overwhelming. We encourage any and everybody. Like I said, this is an event where we're going to have a certain amount and we're going to cap it off. It is going to be in Mexico. Just one more time in this interview, we're going to go on a while. I have some more questions here. Let them know where they can contact you directly so they don't get lost in the shuffle.
Right, so the website, bttfvacation.com, backtothefuturevacation.com. The email's there. There's a form there if you have any questions. The pricing's there. If you're just ready to book, which you should be, you can book yourself right there through the website.
And we want to welcome everybody back again to America's Elite Businesses Up Close and Personal. Yes, we have finally got the guy here, the orchestrator, the mastermind behind, well, Back to the Future, its 35th year anniversary. Original characters, original actors and actresses in only one place. Can you get it? Let's talk about the price. Let's talk about the cutoff day. And when do we go to Mexico?
So the vacation is November 3rd through 8th.
Okay.
You have to have your payment in full by July 29th. You can secure your room today with a $400 deposit. You have till July 29th to pay it off. That includes your room, your drinks, your food, all your tips, gratuities. There's no hidden fees or anything like that when you get there to the resort. We also use a company called Uplift where you can finance your vacation as well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's 12 monthly payments. You can pay, travel, and obviously pay after your travel as well.
Okay.
That's a service that's partnered with Cruise Planners.
Okay.
We can help you out. It takes 3 minutes to fill out an application and you're good to go.
When is the cutoff date and when do we actually leave? Did I miss that?
July 29th is the
Okay.
final payment date.
All right.
And November 3rd is the first day of the vacation. We get there November 3rd, we leave the 8th.
And I want to remind everybody as well too, for the vacation package, a mere deposit will get you booked in. And as we talked about before, there's a cutoff. We're looking 30 to 60 people here. We want it to be an intimate setting, not just a stadium full of people here trying to get autographs. An intimate setting in Mexico. Cruise Planners, and we've got Danny with us. Danny, this is like we talked about before. I asked you, I said, where did you get this? Who did this before? I like it. Are we going to do it better than somebody else? And you said, this was my idea, Chris. If this goes over, as we know it is, just by the draw that we've seen already, can I get inside your head here? Is there any more geek events, as you call them, that we can see?
We get this to work, it becomes cookie cutter at that point.
Right.
And then the next big anniversary or, any other cult classic film out there, the following's there. It's just getting the actors in place and getting them to actually talk to you and being able to afford them.
How long did it take? I mean, you thought this up, was it November?
It started last May.
Last May?
Last May is when we started the conversations with the actors, and finally got everybody signed contract in December. And January we rolled out the announcement that we're ready to
Yeah,
start
it's
looking.
time to get it ready here. I want to talk a little bit about Cruise Planners. You're a franchise owner. I've been doing cruises on Cruise Planners for over 25 years, but as I mentioned earlier, you guys are not just cruise specialists. Land, let's talk about some of the land things that you guys are doing on a daily basis.
Right. So obviously, this showcasing that we do more than cruises.
Absolutely.
we do Europe trips. We do of course riverboat cruising.
Okay.
However, we do a lot of pre-cruise and post-cruise stays,
Okay.
tours, add-ons like that as well. So people want to get there, a few days early, not just jump on the ship and move. We set up, private tours and everything for you right there.
Cruise Planners, 26 years. I'm sure you did your research before you became a franchise owner. What do you see in Cruise Planners? I mean, it's been around a long time. Is there progress and development? Is it moving in the right direction?
I was an associate for another Cruise Planners
Okay,
franchise
great,
to
great.
start, and they were travel agents for many years
Okay.
and bought into their franchise. At that point, 10 years prior for me coming on, and absolutely loved it. They've actually been the Entrepreneur 500 Travel Franchise of the Year for 17 consecutive years. And just their technology and everything, the tools that they provide us as franchisees, nobody rivals it in the industry. You talk to other host agencies and everybody's jealous of our technology and the benefits that we get.
You mentioned as well too that you work with Royal Caribbean, and I had to bring that back up just very quickly here. That's the only cruise line I've ever been on, except for Carnival when I was a little younger, top notch. And they highly recommend booking through guys like yourself. I mean, because you put it all together and then they take it. Can you tell me a little bit about your relationship with them?
Yeah, so most of our group cruises we use Royal Caribbean, just as personal favorites. We kind of
Okay.
tend to go towards them, but our franchise relationship with them is just phenomenal. Our local rep just helps us out with anything that we have to do, any
great.
question, pull strings for us all the time.
We are at the Port Orange City Center Amphitheater. We want to thank them for letting us come out here and park here. I want to go back again and remind everybody, we're going back to the future. It's a 35-year anniversary, original cast members. Only one place can you get it done here with Danny. The price is absolutely fantastic. They take deposits, they finance, and as I said, we're going to cap this thing off very quickly here. So we encourage people to go to the websites. If I can, one more time, where they can contact you directly.
It's BTTF Vacation for BackToTheFutureVacation.com.
I want to take a minute here and go back again and talk a little bit about Cruise Planners here. I know this is a big event and we're working real hard to get this thing up and running here, but what else in 2020? I know you say you have sleepless nights. That just means you're an entrepreneur
Right.
and you take a lot of pride in what you do. What else is planned for 2020?
So we have the Easter Seals in November. We're doing an autism cruise with them.
Oh, great.
Royal Caribbean is the only cruise line in the industry that is actually autism certified. So if we get 10 or more families, the whole ship will go into autism mode. With,
Explain that.
bags and-
You talked about that. That's incredible.
Yeah, there'll be lower lights. The families will get to bypass the normal check-in process to make sure we expedite the families onto the ship. There'll be shows that are low lit just for them. They'll have comfort bags in the room for each family as well. So that's another reason why we love Royal Caribbean. We have the Tortugas Cares Foundation
Okay.
charity cruise in September this year.
Okay.
They teamed up with 103.3 The Vibe. We did their cruise for them last year. This year
Excellent.
they've combined it to really show support for the Tortugas.
Good.
And then that's really our big groups right now.
I want to go back and we talked about this in the very beginning stages of this podcast, the Parkinson's charity. I mean, you handpicked that one for a few reasons. Can you talk about why you chose that and the great people behind the scenes there?
So we originally contacted the Michael J. Fox Foundation
Okay.
for the Back to the Future cruise. They were very nice. They just let us know that they have their own 2 big events every year and they're just going to focus on that, but they'd be more than happy to promote any event that I had for them, but that's kind of where it stopped. So I figured, being a small community, why not approach the local Parkinson's Association?
Okay.
So we got a hold of them and presented to their board, and it was unanimous that they wanted to attach themselves to this project. Obviously, the proceeds will go to
Correct.
the Parkinson's Association of Greater Daytona Beach.
Well, we want to remind everybody again, we are here and this is America's Elite Businesses Up Close and Personal. We have business owners each and every week. Actually, about 7 to 10 times a week are we interviewing business owners, talking about their success stories and some of the big projects. And this one really captivated me again, not just because of the brains behind it, but because of the uniqueness, a 35-year, I wish I was around back in that day. Well, I guess I was. Okay, I can't get by that one here. A 35-year anniversary of Back to the Future. Can I ask you again, and you admitted that you were a geek, you know, was there any other project that kind of floated around in your mind, or just something said, I've got to do this one?
Like I said, when I was looking at the cruises and I saw November 5th and there was a day at sea on that day, I'm like, we're going to have an Enchantment Under the Sea dance on November 5th. How can we not? So I just, once that idea stuck, I just took it, and like I said, it snowballed, and before you know it, I'm talking to original cast members from Back to the Future.
Tell me about the time when you were at your house and you and your wife got a number on your TV and it said Hollywood, California. You don't get a lot of calls from Hollywood, California, do you?
2 young children, they're asleep, 9 o'clock, phone rings, says Hollywood, California. I look at my wife and she's like, you have to answer this.
You have to, of
You
course.
have to, because who's going to call from Hollywood? And of course it was one of the actors from the movie, and just asking me about the event, and actually was asking if they could, participate.
You know we're going to have to practice when we get to Mexico, when you finally meet these cast members, because I can't have you just standing there not speaking. I'm going to teach you to speak through me. How about
Gotcha,
that?
perfect.
Well, we're going to wrap this up, and we are very thankful again that the amphitheater allowed us to come out here. We thank the weather for giving us an opportunity. Again, we're talking to Danny from Cruise Planners, and we are planning, and we really put an emphasis on planning this event here. We have a cap. We need people to contact us as soon as we can. If you can, one more time, tell us about the date that we really need to have everything in.
So you need to be paid in full by July 29th. However, I said we do use Uplift, and it's an option if you need to finance. If you can't come up with $3,000 between now and July, there's options for you.
And that's great too. Again, a down payment will get you in, a finance plan will get you in. Myself, Jesse behind the camera, and Danny, we would love to see you guys out in Mexico for the event. We're going to wrap this up. This is America's Elite Businesses Up Close and Personal. We'll check you guys next week.